Let's explore the topic of the types of fatty acids. A fatty acid is saturated if there are only single bonds between carbon atoms in the hydrocarbon chain. Carbon atoms are not joined by double bonds in saturated fatty acids. In the saturated fatty acids, the number of hydrogen atoms attached to the carbon skeleton is maximized. This means that the fatty acid is saturated. Saturated fats are solids at room temperature and usually of animal origin. Saturated fats are linked to an increased risk of cardiovascular disease in humans. Examples of foods with a high proportion of saturated fat include cream, cheese, butter, and other whole milk dairy products and fatty meats. So in saturated fatty acids, you find only single bonds between carbon atoms. In saturated fatty acids, there are only single carbon bonds in the hydrocarbon chain. And a hydrocarbon is a compound made only from carbon and hydrogen atoms. When hydrocarbon chains contain at least one double bond, the fatty acid is unsaturated. The main difference between saturated and unsaturated fatty acids is the hydrocarbon tails. Unsaturated fatty acids have one or more double bonds between carbon atoms in the hydrocarbon chain. An example of an unsaturated fat is a cooking oil. Double bonds cause a kink, so a little bend in the carbon chain. So saturated fats can't pack together tightly. This explains why they remain liquid at room temperature. So to recap, saturated fatty acids have only single carbon atoms between the hydrocarbon on the hydrocarbon chain. And in unsaturated fatty acids, they have one or more double bond between carbon atoms in the hydrocarbon chain, which causes kinks to form.